Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, second video of the day, and it's going to be one thing that you definitely noticed and probably doesn't have much impact on you at all, and then a second thing that you probably missed, which would probably have a massive impact on you, especially if you aren't playing but you're looking for a reason to return. I'll explain very shortly. So the first one is you couldn't have missed it because you had to go to the App Store or the Play Store to download the patch before going back into the game, to then download it again. I know, a lot of downloading. But it was basically a very small server patch that fixed a text display error with Spider-Man 2099, and then it fixed an error code when converting 6-star ISO to Extreme Boost ISO. Now, initially, I was really hyped for 2099 because I thought that this was a buff. I thought that they were adding a counterattack effect to his passive, his accelerated AI passive, which procs every 5 seconds when he gets hit. And with this new uniform, they increased the barrier to 3, and they increased the invisibility and the ignore targeting to 2 seconds. But I was really excited, like, oh man, the clone attacks, like it counterattacks the enemy. That's really cool. But then I noticed it's on his old uniforms. So I don't think it's actually a buff. I think it's more of just making it in line with what they were expecting. Now, the skill is still buffed in the sense of having a longer duration with the same cooldown, with more barrier, but otherwise it doesn't seem to be a big deal. But if it was malfunctioning, and I don't know this because I haven't tested him in PvP just yet, but for anyone who has tested him in PvP and was disappointed, maybe it's time to go and test him again after this change, because it's a little weird to have such a small change require a download, right? Maybe it's the error code for the ISO thing, but it was like, you know, you got to go to the App Store to download this thing, and then you have to open it up in game and download it again. Like it's pretty strange they had to do that through the store. But yeah, for whatever reason, that has been fixed or changed or whatever. I'll be checking out Miguel shortly. I know he's good for PvE, so I'm not too worried about his value, but maybe he has even more value than we previously thought. So that's sort of the thing that you couldn't have missed, that you know is going on, in case you're wondering what the patch was about, patch notes, whatever, etc. That's fine. The second thing, I'm pretty sure the majority of players missed and still have no idea about, and although we have very little information about it, I'm sure that this is going to get some people to come back to the game. I know it's a bit of a bold statement, but it's one that I make a lot. I know it's a bit of a hype sort of promise, you know, hey, if you're not playing Marvel Future Fight, now is the best time to get back into the game. But hey, hear me out. If you go over to the tokens, or not the tokens, if you go over to the icons, okay, and you browse through the special icons, and you look at the ones that are upcoming. So we have, you know, Gamora's, we have Groot's, we have Miguel's, we have Miles Morales's, but then we have the Deadpool one. And the Deadpool one was really confusing because we're like, huh, are they hinting a Deadpool update? And then you go and you click on it, and it says, I love you 3000. 3,000 day celebration event. And I was like, what is that? What is that? Like a classic Cardi B moment. I was very confused. So then I go and I look and I'm like, huh, so we've been playing the game for 8 years, right? And you multiply that by 365 and you're really close to 3,000 days. Like very close. You know what I'm saying? And we're past the 8-year celebration. So you add a month to that, right? And you like, anyways, the math is not exact, but it's basically 3,000 days, yeah? So it seems like, although they haven't announced anything, there's been no announcements on the forums, there's been no clues or anything for this 3,000 day celebration. Like, it's a pretty big deal, right? It's a pretty big deal. So I'm really excited. A 3,000 day celebration event sounds like there's going to be rewards, and it seems like one of those rewards, it's probably going to be tokens if I had to guess, based on the fact that there's an icon and based on the fact that we know a lot of other icons are obtained by trading in tokens. Like, for example, well, this one's Overworld Battle Season 1, but again, Across the Spider-Verse event token shop. You see what I'm saying? So basically every month we have at least one of those where you can trade. For example, last month it was Mantis. This month it is Miguel, where you can trade tokens for an icon. But we already have one for the Spider-Verse icons, right? For the Spider-Verse tokens, we already have an icon, which is Miguel. So this one being another event reward, it's one of two things in my mind. It could certainly be a third thing, but in my mind, it's either going to be a token event where we play a stage, we get tokens, and then we can exchange those tokens for massive rewards, including an icon, or it's going to be an event that gives us some sort of rewards, and the token and the tokens or not, and the icon is just on top of that. So it's sort of like just participate in the event and you will be given the icon automatically, sort of like how we had for check-in events where you just show up and you get those free icons. So pretty exciting. 3,000 days really puts this game into perspective. I was kind of I'm using flabbergasted a lot. I was stunned. I was a bit speechless. I was like, damn, I've been playing this game for over 3,000 days. Like, that's crazy. That's a long ass time. You know what I'm saying? With basically 0 breaks. So yeah, for all of you out there who've been playing this game this long, that's your milestone, 3,000 days. And like I said, for those of you who aren't playing, probably pretty soon is going to be a very good time to join, because if we're going to have overlapping events, that means you're going to be able to collect the tokens and then get the rewards for the Spider-Verse tokens, which should be in about a week or week and a half. And then you'll also be getting, right, if the math is correct, you'll also be getting the 3,000 day celebration. And I don't know, for some reason, I feel like the 3,000 day celebration event is going to be pretty hype and is going to have some pretty good rewards. I could be wrong, but it's a massive milestone. And of course, it links to Iron Man, Tony Stark, I love you 3000, right? Like, it's a pretty big deal. They probably want to play on that nostalgia from Infinity War and Endgame that had this game at its all-time high, peak players, peak performance, peak revenue. They probably want to have some of that back if they can, even just for a moment. So I'm expecting it to be, I've got my expectations pretty high. I'm setting my hopes pretty high, and we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, no information, no other information on that as of yet. I don't think anything's been data mined or anything like that. So if you have any further information, if you've seen anything anywhere like Facebook or something like that that I haven't checked, hit me up in the comments down below or hit me up on Discord. But in the meantime, we're basically just gonna have to wait and see what the 3,000 day celebration holds. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Oh, one more thing. I've had reports from a few players, but I haven't been able to replicate it myself, that world bosses, especially world boss legends, and especially gore, is dealing a lot more damage to characters than usual. I have no way of replicating this myself. I've played through and I haven't found it to be more or less difficult than usual. I'm still able to do the same clears that I was able to do with characters, but I've had the reports from a few different people, so I just wanted to throw that out there and put that out there in case you've had that issue, and you can report it down below in the comments. And again, if enough of you have that issue and the devs see that, then maybe they'll investigate it. And this is basically one of the only ways that problems get put to the devs and get shown to them if they're actually covered on social media. So yeah, thanks so much for doing that. In case it's happening to you, help people out by posting about it and explaining what's going on in your experience. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.